sugar and I asked him how his day was. He's very quiet that day. Very quiet. Not the guy that I knew. He's very quiet. I turned around. He was standing in the doorway. Dark figure, stiff as stone. I'm gonna kill you. I says, you're just joking, right? You're just joking with me. No, I'm not joking with you. I panicked right there. I throw the cup of sugar at him, and that didn't help me at all. He just came at me faster. See, I'm backed up against the fridge, and he's yelling at me to shut up because I'm screaming my head off. And he had the craziest look in his eyes. The craziest. Like, there was nothing behind them. There was no soul behind them. He was just there. So I'm lying down on the floor because he's beating me with this object that I do not know of. I feel blood coming from somewhere on my body, but I don't exactly know where it's from. And I pretend I'm dead, just so he leaves me alone for a split second. He walks away. He starts rummaging through my refrigerator. Next thing I know, he pulls out a beer, sits down on my table, and starts to drink it. But to me, it seemed like forever. He finishes this beer. I felt dizzy and nauseated to my stomach. I couldn't get up, but I heard Jesus in my ear telling me, you have to get up. You have to get up right now. Hear Jesus. So I'll get on my knees right then and there in front of the refrigerator and say, thank you, Jesus. I don't even know why he came into my house that day or chose me out of all the other Walgreens workers. There was a lot of them. But then I realized that he chose me because he knew that Jesus needed to talk to me. And I am grateful for that experience. I heard Jesus in my ear. I'm running as fast as I can. I fell. And right then I start screaming. I survived because Jesus was with me. Me and my husband, we are traveling. It was a very far drive. It was cold that night. Then we noticed in our rearview mirror a car in the distance that was getting closer and closer. It was so close that it hit us. We didn't know till the car rolled over. And my husband flew out because he had no seatbelt on. But I stayed strapped to the car because I had my seatbelt on. Then the hijackers pulled me out and they were like, hey, I need your car. I was like, what for? It's rolled over. Well, we can't hijack the car no more since it's broken. So we'll just take you instead. So they take me and my husband is somewhere out there in the grassy fields with the dandelions and the weeds and the snakes and the rats. He's gone. And I was being taken by these men in suits of black. As black suits. And I say nothing. I keep my mouth shut. Because I didn't know what they wanted from me. All they wanted was my blood. That's what they wanted from me. They take me to this courthouse out in the middle of the field. And then they put me in this room with the concrete doors and walls. These walls of concrete. It is cold in there. And I have my sweater with me. Like this one. But it was purple. It was purple sweater. So they come back 2 hours minutes, seconds later. And they say, come on, let's go. And I didn't know where they were going. So I went with them. And still, I think about my husband in my head. My husband was not in my head. I didn't know where he was, if he was dead or alive in the field of the grass and the dandelions and the snakes. I didn't know where he was. They left me in the field. So I walk, because I hear water. And when you hear water, there's a creek. So I hear this creek, right? So I walk to the creek. I put my hand in the water and it is cold. It's cold creek. And then I walk up the creek and I see a little cabin. I go inside the cabin and there's 2 other men waiting in there. They say they know Pablo and Diablo from the car. And I don't know who these guys are, and they explain to me who they are. But I'm standing in the doorway, they're explaining to me, and I think about my husband again. I don't know where he is in the field of dandelions. I don't know where he's at. So they tie my ankles to the legs. They duct tape my mouth. They duct tape my mouth. My mouth is duct taped now. And then they put the sack of corn on my head without the corn. And I hear them talking in a different language, like heebie-jeebie or something. And they speak for a while, and I try to untie myself, but they realize and they hit me with something, and I fall over on the chair. And I think of my husband again. I don't know where he's at, in the field of dandelions again. I don't know where he's at. And I wish inside of my head that he would come and save me from these masked men, whoever they were, why they wanted me. They clink cups, like a tradition or something. They clink cups twice, 3 times, 4 times. And then out of nowhere, like a superhero, my husband flies through the door. But I can see this because I have the sack on my head. My husband comes through the door with a big stick and hits them. And they're on the floor. And then when my husband picks me up, he says, I love you, like a romance novel or something. And that is the moment when I realized I survived because of my husband. It was like the 2nd semester, I think. I don't really remember that much. It was really long ago. But it was one of the biggest parties the school had ever seen. It was big. Almost everyone was invited, including me. Because I'm just awesome like that. Okay, I get invited to all the cool parties. Like, never do I not get invited. Never do I not. So we go to this party, right? We're like all dressed up and whatnot. And my friend, she's like, yeah, we're gonna have a blast in time here. And I'm like, yeah, of course we are. We're at this party, duh. So once we were at this party, there were tons of guys there. And a lot of girls that we knew, but weren't very fond of. So we started drinking really hardcore. And we just got very out of hand. Guys were giving us shots, and it was just amazing and really crappy at the same time. So I don't remember what happened.
Mom, Dad, Navi.
I don't remember. Okay. My friend said I partied and drank so hard that I blacked out, passed out, and I just started having seizures and throwing up all over myself. I don't remember any of that. So when I woke up in the hospital the next morning, I didn't really know what was going on. It was a very short night for me. I survived because of my best friend. She was the one who called the ambulance, and without her, I'd probably be dead right now. Game plans! Look at this! Look at this! Just kidding. Mom, I can't do this. I can't work with these kind of props. What is it? They look okay from there. Oh, that makes it. What are you doing? Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Don't stop moving. Mama shaking the boys, yeah, and they're like, it's better than yours. It's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. But you know my baby mama, and I say, like, you have a gonorrhea of the eye, and then he's like, you don't know what that is, He's like, I was like, yeah, that's when you like get gonorrhea and then get it in your eye. We were traveling around the world in this car. Oh no, I'm so stunned right now. Oh, ha 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 ha. Alrighty then. I don't know. Lasting party.
Some of that